Hello, North America, and welcome to another special event where I'm acting as a host of some kind here, wanting to record a phenomenon having to do with ETs and UFOs. That's right, folks. For those of you that know me, I'm Don Emilio Zinno, and I do specialize in interviewing people that have had ET UFO experiences, etc. And today with us, I want to introduce to you the people that happen to be in this interview. Not necessarily in the order of importance. Allow me to introduce to my far right Mr. Jean Rivet from Montreal, Quebec. Actually, we're all from Montreal, Quebec. And Jean Rivet is a radio and TV producer and events promoter. And I wanted him to be on this interview for the purpose of acting as a plausible witness to what our interviewee is going to tell us about his ET UFO abduction experience. You heard me right, folks. ET UFO abduction experience. And now, without further delays, allow me to introduce Mr. Florian Costache. Florian, welcome to our show. Thank you for being here finally.
Thank you very much. Hi, Mr. Zinno. I'm very happy to be a guest for this wonderful emission, and I hope it's going to be a good one.
I think it will. And folks, just for your information, sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee or a drink. We're going to come up for air in about 30 minutes here on this interview for the purpose of allowing people to take a break. You know, when you're talking for 30 minutes, it's quite a lot. Anyways, I just want to set the stage and then we dive into the interview. Florian Costache, you can Google him, is one of the world's greatest violinists. He's from Bucharest, Romania, and I have a nickname for him in private, which is Dracula, because he's awake at night. When I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, that's when he wakes up, and then he goes to bed at 6 o'clock when I wake up. You know, and we've known each other for a great amount of years. And I beg you to believe me, he's one of the world's greatest violinists. And it's too bad that he's not very active anymore. And he'll tell you his story. But the reason we brought Florian here is because this year, 2020, to be more precise, November 7th, 2020, will be exactly 30 years since we had that momentous, epic UFO sighting on Place Bonaventure in Montreal. That's right, folks. You can Google that as well. Place Bonaventure, November 7, 1990, is when there was a mass sightings. And Florian was there that night. And I will share with you why I think he was there, what really happened, and what happened to him as a kid. So I'm going to hand over this forum to Florian Costache by saying, tell us where you were born and what happened with your first experience when you were about 5, 6 years old. Take it from there, Florian.
Yeah. So I'm original from Romania. I was born in Romania. My father is Romanian and my mother is Austrian from Vienna. So I'm half Austrian, Viennois, and half Romanian. And my parents, it was very great, also a musician. My father, it was conductor of orchestra, and my mom, it was teacher piano and also opera singer, and also she was also in the movie star. Many people, they said about her, she looked like a Greta Garbo.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
yeah, and so by my education I received in this time, I start, with the violin, but in the same time, I was looking for the piano in the same time because my mom was pianist, my father also, and I have this attraction for the piano in the same time. So it was not big time for me to play outside because when I start the violin, it was around 4 years old. So
Wow.
it was very exigent instrument, violin, and you have to take it serious. And like my mother, she said, if you want to be somebody famous, you have to play, to exercise every day, minimum 4 hours. In the beginning, at 4 years old. But it was not the case to push me, because when I stopped the exercise to violin, I start to piano. So I took a rest from the violin and I continue in my rest to play piano. So this it was about my education. And what happened around 6 years old, I have like a very, for me, it was very um, unusual experience, and also for my mother. So at this time, 6 years old, my mom, I was take a break, and she said, in my break, she said, I need you go to buy bread. And she gave me the money, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy bread. And this, it was, let's say, the first experience. When happened this, I took the money, and uh, I was start to run, but about couple, not even 10 seconds, when I ran, I didn't touch no longer. I feel like I didn't touch no longer the street. It was like a couple centimeter in the air, and it was fast, and I come back very fast. When I come back, my mother asked me, "Did you take the money? Did you took the money? And did you run? Did you run because the food is ready?" I say, "Mama, the bed is there," and she was surprised because she said, "Well, I just couple. It was couple minutes, not even 5 minutes." And it was
Excuse
the
me,
first.
Florian. Excuse me for a second. Jean, this is what could be construed as missing time in the UFO phenomenon. Except in this case, he was only gone for a few seconds, and this is where the missing time phenomenon kicks in. I'm sorry, continue, Florian, please.
Yeah, the house, our house, it was in uh, like a position. It was more than like station bus, 5 kilometers, maybe something like this, or 4 kilometer distance. So the store, it was not very close, and in the same time, when I come back, I was able then to, so the house, it was in 3 levels, and I was able to jump from the third to the second floor, and the second floor to the first floor, and I was able to jump like 12 steps, because normal one floor is between 9 and 12. So we have this is the first experience. This is my first experience, and then
So am I to conclude, Florian, I'm sorry, I'm interjecting because I need to ask these questions so that our audience can follow easier. Since you've had this, let's call it a paranormal experience for now. You agree with me, Jean?
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it a paranormal experience for now. You've been given some superhuman powers based on what I'm hearing. You would be able to jump 12 steps down without without hitting any step. I mean, anybody else would have broken their necks, and you were able to jump like a cat, like a tiger, a lion, number one. And the fact that this all happened since that missing time episode. Continue,
I have a
please.
question. Was it before or after?
Yeah, no, this it was before, after I come back. It make you laugh.
No, it's friendly. So yeah, just to take off the I would say the very strange phenomenon. I believe very much in what you say, because we'll come back to this, but I think we see this phenomenon with a materialistic mind, but this needs to be understood with another point of view.
Okay, what I want to tell you, this experience happened after I come back from the store.
Yeah.
Then I said, because my mom asked me, what happened? I said, I don't know, but I think something is strange. Oh, why? Because I said I didn't touch the street, like the boulevard, the earth, no longer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my mom.
Now, let me ask you. I need to interject here, again, folks, to better explain what's happening. As you were walking, you felt elevated. Did you see a light of any kind?
No, I didn't see no light, but a couple nights before this, it was always the dream. It was like a UFO flying in my dream around the house. This it was in my dream.
All right, this is what I would dare to say.
I talked to my father, and I said, we have I don't know if it's dream or did you heard or did you see something? No. And I said, you read too much, Florian, because me, I was attracted about UFO from very small and books and any kind of movie, and especially I read a lot of books. And I don't know, it was like, for me, it was very like when you like to drink or to eat something, what we, let's say you like to drink 7-Up, and you love the 7-Up, or you like to drink milk, you expect to have this. It was for me, the books to read about this. It was like a necessity. It was like an enjoyment.
Okay,
And
guys, Florian, I'm sorry. Again, I need to interject because I don't want to confuse any. Could it be that the so-called experience was that they communicated with you within your dreams a few nights before to let you know that they were going to come and, let me use the word directly, abduct you. That's why you felt elevated in broad daylight. You were wide awake. You were coherent.
I don't know this. I can explain if it happened during my dream. I don't know. I can explain this because.
But what did you mention? You mentioned. I'm sorry. I need to ask these questions. You mentioned UFOs during your dreams a few days prior, coming around the house.
Yes.
I would deduct that was their way of advising you that we're going to come and pick you up at a specific time, which they did, according to you. You're saying this. I'm not making this up, right? And you felt elevated. That tells me that you were being abducted, and then you don't remember anything because you had missing time syndrome.
Can be. I can say yes, I can say no, but can be because.
Okay, fine, continue, please.
Yeah. And then I was so exciting because I have some powers which nobody at my age around my class of musician and on the school. And remember, I showed them, and they asked me, can you show us how you jump on the steps? so many steps.
12
And I
steps
said,
down without getting hurt. And you did it, and they were
and,
amazed. It was like
yeah,
superhuman
and
powers that you've gotten.
yeah, it was not very big power, but it was something. No one of my colleague my age tried this. Because it was difficult. It was I think it's difficult to at this age to jump without to broke your neck or to have injury or to have something.
Okay, folks, once again, I need to interject. I know, obviously, as Florian's friend, I've heard this story over and over again for the last 13 years, and I need to set the stage and move forward or fast forward. Because of this experience, I personally believe that Florian had an abduction experience of some kind. Just retain that. I'm not asking you to believe me. This is what I personally believe based on my overall experience with UFO matters. But now, since age 6 till age 11, tell us what happened in school in terms of you absorbing like a child protege, absorbing everything so much faster than
Yeah.
any other student. Can you explain us
Yes.
that part?
Yeah. What happened then? I remember I was so strong in the music and also in the mathematics and also in the geography and physics. And my teacher, I remember, he said, "Give me like example." And they asked me how you do because to learn by heart Bach concert or Beethoven or even if it was like let's say 20 page, it takes 6 months to put for a musician violinist to put. Let's say if you take a concert, we speak about concert, not a small piece like a 2 page. We speak the concert normal. It's a 3-part. So first part can be allegro, second part andante, and the third part is sometimes can be like at least 4, 5, 6 page. But we don't speak about numbers here. We speak about the knowledge and the interpretation, because it's in the music you have to understand the tone. You have to make clear your technical, no mistakes for the right hand, for the left hand, and at the same time it's the perfect sound. In the same time, it's also the perfect pitch, no mistakes. Then in the end is come the interpretation, and it's like a building. Me, I always compare the music like a architecture musical. What for me it was Bach. It was the most biggest composer, and he stay like a futurist composer because what he wrote it's like a fantastic. It's like a today if you transform and if you take the structure of the Bach any kind piece, it's like you're going to architect is going to make something futurist, like a big building, but not normal. Not it's very difficult. That's why I explained a little bit about the part technical and the part interpretative. So that's why it takes so long time, because before you have to fix the order, no mistakes, clean, and then is coming the interpretation. It takes 6 months for a student normal. The teacher, he said, always between 3 and 6 months, we're going to fix the, let's say, a good foundation of the musical score. You can make this reading in 1 day, reading, but it's nothing. If you want to make clear and to prepare a piece, we speak about big composers, need time. And to be prepared to go in the stage in the front of the public is take time. If you want just to make like numbers, I read, I interpret it in the front of the teacher, take maybe 2-3 months. But for me, it was just maybe max 1 week.
Okay, Florian, allow me to just to recap, because I want to shy away from this musical academia of yours. I know, and now the world will know, that you are truly a musical genius. You were a child protege, because I want to concentrate on this whole ET UFO matter. This is why the viewers are tuning in, with all due respect, again, to your academia. Florian, so could you tell us how old you were as a child protege leading the, what is it, Romanian Symphony Orchestra, leading?
Yeah, it was around 11 years old.
11 years old, so you definitely were a child protege. You were able to grasp, hear me out, please, because I'm setting the stage now for what's to come, so people will fully understand where I'm going with this. Because of your again, your experience, you were given a special talent at such a young age. Fair enough? Because I would like to prove later on in this interview that you were an abductee of some kind at a very, very, very young age, for you to pick up the violin at age 4 and become a conductor of the symphony orchestra of your native land at age 11. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm 65 and I can't even hold a violin under my chin if you pointed a gun at me. But anyways, that being said, what happened is, tell us, between ages 11 and afterwards, when was the first time that you physically saw a UFO?
Yeah, it was after I was in, after I finished the secondary, so I jumped direct to the conservatoire, because I make always 3 years in the 1 year. They give me this possibility because like I was very unusual.
You jumped classes. In other words,
yeah, exactly.
You were ahead of your time.
And,
we understand that part, but
they put me in the University Conservatoire, and then the first time I remember, it was like 70 years old. In my first time, I was in the break. We was outside. It was not just me. It was we was minimum 6 students, and
you were 17 years old. Florian, follow me. You were 17, 18 years old. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And tell us, what did you see?
So what I saw, I said, what is there? And my colleague, the student, they said, yeah, it's something there. It's like many, like a cylinder, like a, and they was like, they say it was about maybe 2,000 feet and more than 2,000, 4,000 feet. And we can see they come close and they became 2 or 3 and they split and they became like 6, 8. They became smaller. They became.
And how would you describe them? Spheres or orbs?
No, it was like a cylinder, like a
cylindrical. Right? Were they oblong? Were they metallic?
Metallic.
Were they metallic?
It was it was metallic.
Was it like an airplane at 4,000 feet?
No, it was not, because the plane have the
wings. Okay, it was wingless.
No.
Wingless, meaning no wings. Yes. Okay.
No.
How
So
big? How big from your line of sight? How big do you think these objects were? These 3, 4, 5, 6 objects. How big were they?
I think it was big enough to see them clear, but I can say how big, like to tell you in meters. So it's very difficult. But I was able, and my friends, to see the same thing, and we
And how many friends were there that saw the same thing?
like I said, it was like 6 or 8, between 6 and 8.
And they all
Because one
confirmed
of
that
them, of
yeah.
my friends, they said, I'm going to ask the teacher to come. He went, and after the teacher come, we was able to see together, and he said to us, okay, now it's time to go inside because it's finished the break.
Okay, how long were they visible to your human eyes? How many minutes were they there?
The break, it was about 10 minutes, the break, our break all the time. And so it was there for 8 minutes.
8
Almost,
minutes.
yeah.
And these objects, these oblong metallic objects, quasi-stationary at 4,000 feet. Jean, I hope they didn't move. Did they at all? But
no.
they morphed. Did they join together and separate and move around within a given diameter, or were they just there oscillating, meaning they were just there?
No, it was stationary. It was not.
It was quasi-stationary. And
yeah.
did they emit any kind of lights?
No lights. It was in the daytime. It was in the not.
Yes, I understand, but lights are permitted. Okay.
No lights. I didn't see lights.
Okay, no. You didn't see lights. So you went inside. A whole bunch of you saw what you saw, and that was the end of it. Did you have any other experiences after that before you came to Canada? Folks, you notice I'm fast forwarding so that we can get to the most interesting part. Again, we're here interviewing Florian Costache, who's one of the world's greatest violinists. I need not reemphasize that, but I do. And as a witness, I have my co-host Jean Rivet, who's very used to these kind of matters, to make sure that I ask the right questions, to make sure that he witnesses what Florian is saying, so that this video doesn't come across as some other, quacky podcast like the millions that are out there. So I want to go back, Florian. So you went inside, you were 18. Did you have any other experience in Romania since then? In Romania, when you were that age, as you were getting older?
No, no. In Romania, I just have some revelations by dreams, and all the time I saw. Even I was speaking with my friends, also with my parents, and I said, I don't know if can be true, and if can around us they are. And they told me, you read too much. My father, my mother, you read too much, and that's why you are under influence of reading. And it's like you are bring in your life this. And we are happy you are interesting about this, but I said, no. I said, very soon you are going to see. They're going to come and they're going to be very, very close to us.
In your dreams, since you were, let's say, your first experience where you were 6 years old, did you manifest anything? Did you have contact with anybody or anything in your dreams from age 6 till the time you came to Canada, which was going to be my next question?
No, I didn't. But I feel all the time like the presence of them in my dream all the time. I felt it all the
okay,
time.
You felt the presence. When you say them, can you describe what them are?
It was always like something like the always what it was impressed me, it was the head and the eyes. The big head, oval, and the eyes bigger.
So
Then
your typical, if I may use the term, your typical small alien gray.
something like this, exact. Something.
And you had those recurring dreams, but you cannot remember if they spoke to you, if they said anything, etc.
No,
You can't remember. Okay.
I don't.
All right. So what happens then? All right. I'm noticing the time in my little basement studio. Now you can laugh, Jean. In my basement studio, where the time is 7:19, which brings us to the 30-minute mark pretty soon. So if you don't mind, we're going to be taking a short break here on this whole ET UFO phenomenon. I'm Don Emilio Zinno. My co-host happens to be Jean Rivet, and our special VIP ET UFO guest happens to be Mr. Florian Costache, the world-renowned violinist. So folks, bear with us on the second video as we continue. The story gets really interesting, and I feel the need that you should hear the story because it's the honest to God's truth. Please stay tuned. We'll come back with some more. Thank you.
Thank you.